Your teammate has configured an S3 event notification for a bucket that holds sensitive audit data of a firm. As the team lead, you are receiving the SNS notifications for every event in this bucket. After validating the event data, you realize that few events are missing. What could be the reason for this behavior and how to avoid this in the future? If two writes are made to a single non-version object at the same time, it's possible that only a single event notification will be sent. Versioning is enabled on the bucket, and event notifications are getting fired for only one version. Someone could have created a new notification configuration, and that has overridden your existing configuration. Your notification action is writing to the same bucket that triggers the notification. If two writes are made to a single non-versioned object at the same time, it's possible that only a single event notification will be sent. If clients are adding two images, okay, this is an example. It's possible only, this is because S3 might not recognize the simultaneous writes as separate events. Yep. Okay. A video streaming application uses CloudFront for its data distribution. The development team has decided to use CloudFront with origin failover for high availability. Which of the following options are correct while configuring CloudFront with origin groups? CloudFront routes all incoming requests to the primary origin, even when a previous request failed over to the second origin. In the origin group of your distribution, all the origins are defined as primary for automatic failure in case an origin fails. Okay. CF fails over to the secondary origin when the HTTP method of the viewer request is get, head, or options. When there's a cache hit, CF routes the request to the primary origin in the origin group. Or to set up origin failover, you must have a distribution with at least 3 origins. All right, and 2 answers are CloudFront routes are all incoming requests to the primary origin, even when a previous request failed over to the secondary origin. CF fails over to the second origin only when the HTTP method of the viewer request is get, head, or options. Oh, fail this one. CloudFront does not fail over when the viewer sends a different HTTP method. Okay, I need to understand that later. A company has configured an ASG with health checks. The configuration is set to the desired capacity value of 3 and maximum capacity value of 3. The EC2 instances of your ASG are configured to scale when CPU utilization is at 60% and is now running at 80% utilization. Which of the following will take place? System will keep running as is. System will trigger CloudWatch alarms to AWS support. The desired capacity will go up to 4 and the max capacity will also go to 4. The desired capacity will go up to 4 and the max capacity will stay at 3. The system will keep running as is. A developer is creating a RESTful API service using an API gateway with Lambda integration. The service must support different API versions for testing purposes. Which of the following would you suggest as the best way to accomplish this? Set up an API gateway resource policy to identify the API versions and provide context to the Lambda function. Deploy the API versions as unique stages with unique endpoints and use stage variables to provide the context to identify the API versions. Using an API gateway Lambda authorizer to route API clients to the correct API version. Use an X version header to identify which version is being called and pass that header to the Lambda function. Deploy the API versions as unique stages with unique endpoints and use stage variables to provide the context to identify the API versions. A stage is a name for which is established. You use a stage to manage Stage are named on it. All right, well, I need to understand better the versions and stuff. Okay, let's say you have an e-commerce platform with an API for managing orders. You initially deploy version 1 of your API, which includes endpoints for creating, updating, and fetching orders. Later, you introduce version 2 of the API, which includes additional functionalities, such as canceling orders. Version 1 of the API might have endpoints like version 2 of the API might have additional endpoints like that. I don't even know what I'm doing. I think this is kind of an explanation of the previous one. I thought it was a question. I was confused. All right, one more. An analytics company is using KDS to process automobile health status data from the taxis managed by a taxi ride hailing service. Multiple customer applications are using the incoming data streams, and the engineers have noticed a performance lag for the data delivery speed between producers and consumers of the data streams. Which of the following options would you suggest for improving the performance for the given use case? Swap out KDS with KDF. You know, that's Kinesis data streams with Kinesis data firehose. Swatch out KDF with SQS at FIFO queues. Use enhanced fan out feature of KDS. Swap out KDS with SQS standard queues. All right, we're just talking about, okay, so it's use enhanced fan out feature. Okay, good for now.